Here is a number that should make every Indian uncomfortable. According to the latest SEBI Financial Literacy Survey, 76% of Indians are financially illiterate. 3 out of every 4 Indians cannot answer basic questions about money. Not complex investing, basic money. What is inflation? Why do banks pay interest? Difference between income and wealth. 3 out of 4 Indians do not know. And here is the painful part. Most of those 76% are not poor. They are software engineers earning 25 lakhs in Bengaluru, marketing managers in Pune, doctors in Delhi, CAs in Mumbai. Earning a lot of money does not make you financially literate. And being financially illiterate is the reason most Indian middle-class families work their entire lives and still struggle. I'm going to give you the 20-minute crash course in financial literacy that your school never taught you, your college never taught you, your parents could not teach you because nobody taught them either. By the end of this video, you will understand money better than 90% of Indians. And you will know exactly what to do with this understanding to change your family's economic trajectory permanently. Let me introduce 2 characters who will appear throughout this video, Mohan and Rohan. Mohan is a typical Indian middle-class earner, works hard, earns well, follows all the rules, but quietly losing the financial game without knowing it. Rohan is financially literate. Same starting point as Mohan, same education, same family. But Rohan understands the rules of money. 20 years from now, Mohan will still be working and worrying. Rohan will be financially free. The difference is not luck, not income. It is what they understand about money. Let us begin. First, let us address the most important distinction in finance. The one school never teaches you, income versus wealth. Mohan thinks his salary is wealth. He earns 1.5 lakhs per month and thinks he is doing well. Rohan, who might earn the same 1.5 lakhs, knows something Mohan does not. Income is the money flowing into your life every month. Salary, freelance, business revenue, rental income. Income is the water flowing from the tap. Wealth is what you own. Stocks, mutual funds, real estate, businesses, gold, intellectual property. Wealth is the water collected in your bucket. Mohan focuses on the tap. Rohan focuses on the bucket. Here is why this matters. If Mohan earns 1 lakh per month and spends 1 lakh on lifestyle, his bucket has a giant hole. His wealth is zero. He is technically poor despite earning well. If Rohan earns the same 1 lakh, spends 60,000 and invests 40,000 into wealth building assets, his bucket fills. 20 years later, that bucket has 4 crores in it. Same income, completely different outcomes. Income keeps you alive. Wealth sets you free. Now you might wonder, how do I build wealth without crores in savings? You need to understand the simplest rule in personal finance. An asset is anything that puts money into your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. An iPhone bought on EMI is not an asset. It loses value and drains your wallet. A small SIP in a Nifty 500 index fund is an asset. It grows over time and eventually generates returns for you. There are 4 types of assets every Indian can start building today, regardless of salary. First, equity. Through SIPs and mutual funds, you own fractional shares of India's largest companies, starting at 500 rupees per month. Second, skills. Money spent on real skill development is an asset because it increases your future income. A 50,000 rupee course that takes your salary from 8 lakhs to 15 lakhs is the highest ROI investment you will ever make. Third, digital assets. YouTube channel, Instagram page, online course, code, software. These work for you 24 hours a day. Some Indian creators earn lakhs per month from content they made 3 years ago. Fourth, real assets. Real estate, dividend stocks, intellectual property. These come later in your wealth journey. Before you spend money, ask one question. Is this an asset or a liability? Mohan never asks this. Rohan never spends without asking it. Now let me show you the most magical concept in finance. The one that turns 5,000 rupees into 3 crores. Compounding. Compounding means your returns earn returns. Interest on interest. Let me show you the simplest example. Year 1, you invest 100 rupees at 10%. You earn 10 rupees. You now have 110. Year 2, you earn 10% on 110, not on 100. You earn 11 rupees. You have 121. Year 3, you earn 10% on 121. You have 133. The numbers look small at first, but watch what happens over decades. If Rohan starts at age 25 and invests just 5,000 rupees per month at 12% CAGR, by age 60, he has approximately 3.25 crores. If Mohan starts at age 35 and invests 3 times as much, 15,000 rupees per month at the same 12% CAGR, by age 60, he has only 2.8 crores. Read those numbers again. Rohan invested 5,000. Mohan invested 15,000. 3 times more. Mohan ended up with less money. Why? Because Rohan had something Mohan could not buy. Time. Time plus compounding equals unstoppable. Time without compounding equals nothing. Compounding without time equals nothing. This is why Warren Buffett said, everyone wants to get rich, but nobody wants to do it slowly. The slow path is the fast path. The patient investor wins. The impatient one loses everything. Now let me show you the single biggest mistake Indians make with their salary. The mistake that keeps people broke despite high earnings. Income does not decide your future. Cash flow does. Cash flow is the simplest formula in finance. Money in minus money out. If positive, your future is bright. If negative, you are quietly getting poorer every month. Here is what shocks most people. There are software engineers in Bengaluru earning 40 lakhs per year who have negative cash flow. They spend more than they earn. Yes, even at 40 lakhs. How? EMI on a 2 crore flat, car loan on a Mercedes, international vacations, lifestyle inflation, premium gyms, restaurants 4 times a week. After all expenses, they save zero. Or worse, they are in debt. Meanwhile, there are government school teachers in tier 2 cities earning 60,000 rupees per month with positive cash flow. They live within their means, save 15,000 every month, invest in mutual funds. 20 years later, they retire with more wealth than the engineer. If you have high income but bad cash flow, you stay broke. If you have average income but good cash flow, you become wealthy. So how do you create positive cash flow? Through one specific tool every wealthy Indian uses, but most middle-class Indians fear. Budgeting. The word budget makes Mohan flinch. He thinks budgeting means cutting all the fun out of life. No weekend brunches, no Zomato, no Goa trips, just dal chawal and savings. That is completely wrong. A budget is not a restriction. A budget is a direction. It tells your money where to go before the month begins, instead of you wondering at the end of the month where it all disappeared. And the biggest enemy of every Indian budget is what I call invisible expenses. Most Indians do not go broke from big purchases. They go broke from invisible leaks they never notice. The 100 rupee daily coffee at Starbucks. That is 36,000 per year. The 150 rupee Zomato snack 3 times a week. That is 23,400 per year. The I will use it later Amazon sale t-shirt for 999 rupees still in your cupboard with tags on. The Netflix, Hotstar, Prime, Spotify, YouTube Premium subscriptions all running together. Add these up and a typical Mohan loses 80,000 to 1.5 lakhs every year to invisible leaks. Money that could have been invested. Now let me give you the simplest budgeting framework, the 50-30-20 rule. After receiving your monthly take-home salary, split it into 3 buckets. 50% for needs, rent, groceries, EMIs, basic utilities, school fees, transport. 30% for wants, Netflix, restaurants, weekends out, shopping, gym, hobbies. Do not cut these out completely. Money without enjoyment leads to burnout. 20% for savings and investments. This is your shield and your future. If your take home is 80,000 rupees, that means 40,000 for needs, 24,000 for wants, 16,000 for savings. Start with 20%. As your salary grows, push this higher. Top wealth builders save 40 to 60% of their income. The most important mindset shift is this. Mohan's approach is spend first, save what is left. At month end, Mohan has zero left. Rohan's approach is save first, spend what is left. At month end, Rohan still has 16,000 in his investment account, and he managed to live a normal life on the rest. Pay yourself first. This is the single most powerful financial habit you can develop. Now let me show you something every wealthy Indian follows that almost no middle-class Indian knows about. I call it the saving pyramid, a step-by-step system. If you skip even one level, your entire financial structure collapses. Level 1 is income, your starting point. Without income, there is no saving or investing. Focus first on increasing your income through skill development, career moves, or side business. Level 2 is saving. Take 20% or more of your income and set it aside. This is the test of discipline. Avoid lifestyle inflation, the temptation to upgrade your life every time your salary increases. Level 3 is Emergency fund. This is where most people get wrong. Before you invest a single rupee, build an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of your expenses. If your monthly expenses are 50,000, you need 1.5 to 3 lakhs locked in a separate high yield savings account or liquid fund. Not in stocks, not in equity. Liquid and accessible. Why? Because life is unpredictable. Medical emergencies, layoffs, family obligations. If Mohan does not have this fund, he will be forced to use credit cards at 36% interest or sell his stocks during a market crash. Level 4 is investing. Only after the emergency fund is in place, you start putting surplus money into mutual funds, index funds, stocks. This is where wealth multiplication begins. Level 5 is wealth, the destination. When your investments grow large enough that the returns cover all your living expenses. At this point, money works for you. You no longer need to work for money. The wrong way Mohan follows. Income arrives. He directly invests without an emergency fund. An emergency hits. He sells investments at a loss. Cycle repeats. Mohan never builds wealth. The right way Rohan follows. Income arrives, saves 20%, builds emergency fund first, then invests. His money grows steadily without panic selling. Build the base strong, then build the building. Now let me destroy a comfortable myth most Indians believe. The myth that banks are safe lockers for your money. Banks are not safe lockers. Banks are middlemen. Mohan puts 100 rupees in a savings account. Bank pays him 3% interest. Mohan is happy. The bank takes that same 100 rupees and lends it to Rohan as a business loan at 10% interest. The bank earns 7% on Mohan's money. Pure profit. Mohan's money is not sitting idle. It is working hard for the bank. This is how banks make money. They give you a tiny return. They lend your money out at a much higher rate. The difference is their profit, multiplied across crores of customers. Banks are great for safety, daily transactions, and your emergency fund. But banks cannot make you wealthy. The interest banks pay you is always lower than the real inflation rate. If you keep all your money in a savings account, you are guaranteed to lose purchasing power year after year. This is the first rule of building wealth. Banks are for safety. Investments are for growth. Never confuse the two. Now let me explain the most dangerous and most powerful financial tool in the modern world. Debt. There is good debt and bad debt. They look the same on paper. They are completely different in their impact on your life. Good debt is the kind Rohan uses. It puts money into your pocket. Education loan that increases your earning capacity by 5 times. Business loan that generates returns higher than the interest. Real estate loan where rental income covers the EMI. Used correctly, good debt is a wealth building weapon. Bad debt is the kind Mohan falls into. It takes money out of your pocket. Credit card spending on the latest iPhone. Personal loan for a luxury car you cannot afford. Travel loans for a Goa trip. These EMs slowly drain your future. The most dangerous thing in modern Indian finance is the EMI trap. Mohan looks at a 50,000 rupee phone and feels pain handing over the full amount. But the same phone on EMI of 2,500 per month feels easy, almost free. By the end of 2 years, Mohan has paid 60,000 for that phone. Plus, he is mentally locked into 24 months of debt. EMIs hide the real cost. You feel one small bite at a time. Cumulatively, you pay 20 to 30% more for everything in your life. Phones, cars, holidays, even weddings now come with EMI options. When Mohan struggles to pay one EMI, he takes another credit card to cover it. Now he has 2 EMEs, then a personal loan to pay credit card bills, 3 EMEs. This is the debt spiral. Once you enter it, escape takes 5 to 10 years. Some people never escape. Why are young Indians falling into more bad debt than ever before? Because of one psychological change, the shift to a cashless society. In the old days, when Mohan had 500 rupee notes in his wallet and spent 2,000, the physical act of handing over cash hurt. The brain registered the pain. He thought 10 times before spending. Today, with UPI, Google Pay, and Paytm, money never feels real. Scan a QR code, type a password, and 5,000 rupees gone. The pain of paying is eliminated. This is why credit cards and online shopping are the most dangerous financial tools for someone without discipline. Companies know this. They profit billions every year from exactly this psychology. The rule is simple. Never take debt for lifestyle or emotional purchases. Only take debt when it creates more income than its cost. Now let me share the most powerful concept in finance, the one that separates the truly wealthy from everyone else. Leverage. A financially illiterate person thinks, I do not have enough money, so I cannot do anything. A financially literate person thinks, I need to control assets, even if my own money is limited. Leverage means using something small to control something big. In finance, it means using other people's money, usually from banks, to multiply your returns without putting all your own money in. Let me show you with the most famous Indian example. Bollywood superstar Shah Rukh Khan and his house. In 2001, SRK bought his house in Mumbai for approximately 13 crores. He paid only a portion in cash. The rest came from bank loans. He could rent it at the time, and the rental substantially covered his loan, EMI. The property was working for itself. By 2025, the estimated value of house is reportedly over 200 crores. The loan from 2001 is long paid off. SRK turned a relatively small cash outlay into a 200 crore asset using leverage. Another example, in 2008, SRK and his partners bought Kolkata Knight Riders for approximately 75 crores. Today, KKR is valued at over 9,000 crores. Same principle. Use other people's money. Control big assets. This is the magic of leverage. When the asset's return is higher than the loan's interest rate, you multiply your wealth dramatically. But leverage has a dark side. If the asset value crashes or returns dry up, you're still liable to pay the EMI. Your loss multiplies just as fast as your gain would have. This is why Rohan follows 3 rules before using leverage. Positive cash flow. The income from the asset should be greater than the loan, EMI. Margin of safety. Even if values drop 30%, you should survive. Backup money. A separate emergency fund just for loan payments. Used wisely, leverage is how middle-class Indians become crore artists. Used carelessly, it is how Mohan loses everything in one bad year. Now let me share something that can destroy decades of wealth building overnight if you ignore it. Imagine Mohan finally got disciplined, budgeted, saved, built a 20 lakh portfolio over 5 years. One day, he has a major accident. Hospital bill is 15 lakhs. Mohan has no health insurance. His savings, stocks, entire wealth disappears in one day. This is called a financial disaster, and insurance is what prevents it. Insurance does not make you rich. It prevents you from becoming poor. Insurance works on risk pooling. Lakhs of people pay small premiums. Statistically, only a few face emergencies. The company collects from many and pays out to those few. You transfer your big personal risk to a large institution for a small monthly cost. There are only 2 insurances every working Indian must have. First, health insurance, a family floater of at least 10 lakhs to cover hospital bills, cost around 15,000 to 30,000 per year for a young family. Without this, one medical event can wipe out 10 years of savings. Second, term life insurance, only if you have dependents like parents, spouse, or children. A pure term policy of 1 to 2 crore cost only 10,000 to 20,000 per year for a healthy 30-year-old. If you die, your family gets the lump sum. The most important warning, never mix insurance with investment. Avoid endowment policies, money-back policies, ULIPs, Jeevan Anand type policies. These hybrid products give poor returns and inadequate cover. They benefit the agent more than they benefit you. The rule is simple. Protection first through pure term insurance. Growth separately through mutual funds. Never combine the two. Now let us talk about the activity that turns Mohan into Rohan over 20 years. Investing. Keeping money in a bank keeps it safe. But it does not make you wealthy. To beat inflation and build real wealth, you must invest. Investing means putting your money into assets that grow over time or pay you regular income. There is one critical principle: risk versus return. The higher the risk, the higher the potential return. The lower the risk, the lower the return. Fixed deposits are safe but give returns barely above inflation. Stocks are risky but historically deliver 12 to 16% KGR over long periods. There is no investment that gives high returns with zero risk. If anyone on Telegram or WhatsApp promises you 20% monthly returns with guaranteed safety, run. That is either a Ponzi scheme or outright fraud. The second critical principle is diversification. Never put all your money in one company or one asset class. Spread it across stocks, mutual funds, bonds, gold, and real estate. If one sector crashes, another protects you. When you buy a stock, you're not gambling. You're buying a tiny piece of an actual business. When you invest in Reliance, you become a fractional owner. When you invest in HDFC Bank, you own a tiny part of that bank. As the businesses grow, your wealth grows with them. The biggest enemy in investing is not the market. It is your own emotions. Fear makes Mohan panic sell when markets crash. Greed makes Mohan buy expensive when markets are at peaks. Both behaviors destroy wealth. The best Indian investors do the opposite. They buy when others are fearful. They sell when others are greedy. They stay disciplined for decades. This single behavioral discipline is worth more than any stock picking skill. Now let me tell you why we are doing all of this. The end game of all financial literacy: freedom. Retirement does not mean you turn 60 and your body cannot work anymore. For a financially literate Indian, retirement means the point where you no longer need to work for money. Your money works for you. The formula is simple. Passive income from your assets should be greater than or equal to your monthly expenses. The day this becomes true, you're financially free. You can retire at 35 if you achieve this. Mohan makes two big retirement planning mistakes. First, he starts too late. He thinks, I will plan after 40. But compounding needs time. Rohan investing 3,000 per month at age 25 ends up wealthier than Mohan, investing 30,000 per month at age 40. Second, Mohan ignores inflation. He thinks 50,000 per month is enough today. He forgets that in 20 years, the same lifestyle will require 1.6 lakhs per month due to inflation. What feels like 1 crore today will have the purchasing power of only 30 lakhs in 20 years. The strategy is simple. Save regularly, invest for long term, build multiple income sources, control your expenses. The real goal is not increasing zeros in your bank account. The real goal is freedom. Freedom from stress, freedom from bad bosses, freedom to make your own choices. So let me close this with a single sentence that contains everything you just learned. The financially illiterate Mohan thinks his problem is low income. The reality is his problem is financial ignorance. Most Indians earning 30 lakhs a year are quietly poor. Most Indians earning 10 lakhs a year with discipline can become quietly wealthy. Budgeting is the map. Saving is the vehicle. Investing is the fuel, and freedom is the destination. The entire system is designed to keep the common person broke through endless EMS, lifestyle inflation, and financial illiteracy. The day you take responsibility for your own financial education, you escape the trap permanently. If this video was even one step in your journey toward financial freedom, please share it with your friends, your family, and especially with anyone you know who is still stuck in Mohan's life. The biggest gift you can give someone you love is financial literacy. Drop a comment telling me which of these concepts hit you the hardest. Was it the income versus wealth difference? The saving pyramid? The leverage of SRK and Mannat? The compounding math of Rohan beating Mohan with 1/3 the money? Your comment might help somebody else watching this feel less alone. If this video helped you reframe something, please hit the like button. Subscribe to Shivani Talks Money for more honest, no fluff personal finance content built for the actual Indian reality in 2026. And go watch my next video about 10 Japanese way to build wealth. Take care of your money. Start small. Stay consistent. The compounding will do the rest. I will see you in the next one.